What's up, ladies and non-ladies? It is Cerealkiler back again with another video for you guys. This time we're going to be doing TOA Hard 60, which is the double Occult Girl stage this month. I am really excited about this video for two reasons, the lesser of which is the Occult Girls themselves. This level does get talked about a lot. I see it give people a lot of problems, so it'll be nice to come up with a solution for this stage. But what I'm really excited about is the solution itself, which is this water taoist, this Gildong. I am loving this dude. A couple weeks ago when they first got the buff to their first and some of them their second skill, I looked at Gildong very shortly at a potential replacement for my Spectra as a slow applier. I looked at it, decided his application chance was too low, and then kind of benched the idea really quickly without actually giving it much of a go. A couple days ago, I saw a post on Reddit by a user named GAABK3 mentioning he was getting some awesome results from using Gildong as a stunner while keeping Spectra in the team to apply the actual slow. At first, I wasn't sure if I had room for this. I was thinking I would have had to get rid of Veromos or bath salt, and I didn't really like either options, but I figured I'd give it a go. First, I tried replacing bath salt because I didn't really want to get rid of my Veromos. It works pretty nice on trash levels, but I didn't like it at all on boss levels. And when I say boss levels, I mean 50, 60, 70, 80, not the actual wave 1, 2, and 3. The issue with not having any heals at all when I get rid of a bath salt is that, one, it prevents me from spamming my Spectra nuke as often as I would like, and two, it makes you ride a really fine line of perfection or failure. What I end up liking a lot more is replacing the Veromos with the Gildong and keeping the bath salt. You only have one legit AoE stunner, but it is like 16 times more AoE stun than you need. This guy is stupid, like almost broken stupid. At first, I thought he might have actually been broken to where he was not checking for resistance, but he does fail occasionally. So it is not that he is just stupidly broken. It's just a combination of a 100% application chance and a double hit. He almost always lands his slow. If he misses it on anyone, it is extremely rare. And then when you run a team like this, you've got a bath salt and a Mav to taunt those outliers. Really, the only potential issue is Spectra missing a slow, which Spectra is also really good at applying that slow. Every once in a while, Spectra will open up, only get 2 or 3 slows, and then Gildong is probably not going to stun everything. He can apply the slow on his first hit and then stun it on his second hit, which he doesn't have an amazing chance of doing that, but he does have a relatively high chance to do that. This team is just so much less of a dice roll than using Veromos as a stun. If you just kind of ended the story there and said that's the only thing Gildong's good for, he would still be 1,007 times better than stunning at Veromos. Aside from that, he comes with an armor break on his number 3, which lets Spectra go apeshit on things, which is really nice on bosses. And then he comes with a 100% application attack break on 1, which is amazing in TOA. I've actually broken my crowd control team before to bring Colleen in to attack break specific problem monsters. Now you can attack break stuff without breaking your crowd control or dropping your stunner. And then, as if that wasn't stupidly, ridiculously more than a monster needs, he also applies glancing debuff with his number 1 if he crits. So I have mine runed speed, crit rate, accuracy because I didn't have the greatest of runes. I ended up building him after rune removal day, so he kind of got leftover stuff, so he has like 0.2 hit points, which is a bit of a problem, or could be a bit of a problem. Really, the only place I'm having issues with is on Jultan levels, because the Jultan passive will one-shot him because he's so squishy. I'll end up getting around that by giving him runes that are much nicer and hopefully getting at least the crit rate or the accuracy from subs so I can give him a real hit point percentage rune. But if you are watching what this guy is doing, this is not some magical thing of me having the best runes in the world. My runes are mediocre, we'll go over them at the end, but this exact team, except a Veromos instead of a Gildong, and I'm missing stuns constantly, and then constantly trying to play the catch-up game with taunting the things that get resisted on the stuns or that Veromos just doesn't even apply to, and begging for enough bath salt and Mav turns to get stuff taunted. If you watch the way this goes right now, I have like more stuns than is needed. I'll end up dropping stuns to hit one or two monsters because it just doesn't care. Like right here, I could stun that Verde, or I could wait because he's gonna have two or three more opportunities to stun that Verde before. So I'll let one of those Ramagos, or the Raoaks come out, but then I just hit him with that Bread of Turbulence. I might not. I'll probably just stun him on the next go round right here. And so get this guy stunned, and it'll be back up way before it needs to. I don't have Devilmon in my Gildong, so it's a 4-turn cooldown. I do have a Mav, which is lowering this immensely, but my Veromos is on a 3-turn cooldown, and that's not enough stuns in my particular case. There's lots of times where I'm going and just like kind of hoping for magical violent procs. It's nice when Gildong violent procs. Already he doesn't need it. I am in love with this Gildong. At the same time, he has like so much more stun than he needs. I'm not really interested in Devilmoning him, where that may seem counterproductive, but he just really doesn't need it. The one thing that I am looking at doing, which if it works out will get Gildong a bunch of Devilmon, I'm looking at playing around with him in a raid comp. Right now I've got raid 4 pretty solidly locked. I'm looking at making actually a few really big changes, and if I do, I would be short on an attack break, and I don't contain my whole team. I don't have a glancing, so I'm looking at getting him in the back actually to replace my Colleen, pulling a Rakaja in to get the team more heals, moving my Nikki into the back for better dispels, and then moving the Darien up front as a tank. So it's like a huge giant shuffle, so I'm not even going to mess with that until Rune Day. But just as an FYI, I am trying to get Gildong into my Raid 4 team. So let's watch these guys murder this team right now. We've got 2 taunts up, so they're going to get their auto attack off. 6k because there's no debuffs yet because we're right at the front, but we'll see how this goes further on. I'm really more interested in debuffing the Wind OG than the Light OG, because I don't want the Wind OG to kill my Taoist. And I'm planning on keeping the OGs taunted forever, but if they get taunted by Basalt or Mav and then sleep one of them and then violent proc, well, not violent, but their number 1 passive, and then do their AoE, the Wind one has a relatively to really high good chance of one-shotting the Gildong. So I'm more interested in keeping the Wind one debuffed, aside from keeping the 2 imps stunned. Gildong is like 1,000 times more CC than is going to be needed for these 2 imps, so it'll be really easy to keep the imp stunned. Generally, last month I ran this team except a Veromos instead of a Gildong, and it is very much a give and take struggle to try to get through this stage, just with the difference in stuns there and then not having the attack break or the glancing. These OGs hit pretty hard, and without the glancing debuff they have that much better of a chance to hit you, put something to sleep, and then chain that into their AoE. And if you see right now, the rest of their team is doing a glorious job of keeping the attack bars low on those OGs. The Taoist is single-handedly 5 times more stun than is needed to keep the imps from moving, I'm not even going to hit the imps. I'm just going straight for killing this wind OG, and the imps will die from dots kind of on accident. I'm so not afraid of the imps moving that I'm not going to hit them. I'm just going to pile into this wind OG as much as I can. You'll see right now both the OGs are taunted, both of them are attack broken, they're glancing, and they're slowed. Both the imps are stunned, loaded with dots. This is about as beautiful as you could possibly ask for a double occult girl stage, and it's not going to get any harder. My Gildong just went and didn't use his stun because he doesn't need it. The imp on the right is like less than half of an attack bar. Gildong by himself is more than is needed. And then you slap on top of that your traditional stun team of a Spectra, a Basalt type monster, and a Mav, and then a daughter, in my case, Beretta, and you just murder this thing. Look how much damage that right wind imp took when he got his turn. He's got 1.5 billion dots just from Beretta slowly applying them. And then there goes another perfect stun from the Gildong. You'll notice the light one is getting stunned every time, which is really cool. The wind one is also getting stunned every time from that Gildong. It's hard for me to verify, but I have a feeling he applies his stun on glancing hits. It's hard to check because his AoE is a double hit, so I'll see glancing pop up and the guy still gets stunned, but the other hit won't glance, or it's hard to tell if the other hit glanced. So it's hard for me to be 100%, but I think that he does apply his stun even on glancing. Oddly enough, at the same time, I'm pretty sure he does not apply the slow on a glancing. So you really want Spectra to slow everything and then Gildong to stun it for you. The nice thing about Spectra's slow, and there goes our wind imp, the nice thing about Spectra's slow is that it doesn't do damage, so it doesn't glance. So Spectra almost always lands his slow, and then that leaves Gildong right behind him to almost always lend his stun. It is making TOA super trivial. I've had issues on 2 floors so far this month on TOA hard, and they've both been Jultan floors. I think it's like 64 and 67, 66 and 67, somewhere around there, just after this TOA. This is actually well, I did this a second time. I beat this while I was at work, so I'm doing it again right now outside of work so that way I can record it for you guys. I think I'm on 67 right now, and there's Jultan, 2 Jultans on stage 2, and my Gildong, when he crits them, their passive thorns will one-shot him. So I have to pull him back out and go for another video or another route, and I'll probably record that for you guys because this level is giving me tons of issues. I am 100% not enjoying it. There goes the wind OG. That light imp is dead. It just doesn't know it yet. And then at this point we just punch that light OG in the face until she dies, and that's all she wrote. There's really no anything that they could possibly do at this point. Nowhere in this was I in any danger, but that doesn't necessarily mean, it's immortal. Very much the wind OG could have hit something, put it to sleep, did its passive proc, and then AoE'd my Gildong to death, which isn't necessarily a problem with Gildong, it's the problem with my Gildong. This particular one has like 10,000 hit points or something stupid. Enough that a Jultan passive on a trash wave of like wave 2 of 67 is just one-shotting him, which is really not okay. But he's earned so much of my respect now that I would think he's quote-unquote worth 6-starring. It comes back to the Devilmon thing. He's doing the job so well at 5-star that I don't want to invest the resources to 6-star him. But what I'm hoping is that I can convince myself, or that he can convince me that he can perform well in the raid, and then he'll get 6-starred for that, and then that'll give me kind of a free, 6-star to use in TOA without having to actually weigh, hey, do I want to spend these resources to 6-star something for a very marginal gain? Outside of Jultan levels, there is no need for this taoist to be 6-starred. I'm kind of halfway between, 6-starring him and then not having to worry about Jultans as much, or come up with a better way to deal with Jultan, because last TOA hard I got stuck on the Ragdoll Leo level, and I think I'm trying to make something work with Neil, and I think whatever team I make work for Ragdoll Leo, I can also use for Jultan, which is another thing keeping me from 6-starring the Gildong just for Jultan, because I might not need it. And we are about to see the end of this flawless TOA60, or pretty damn close to flawless. I don't really think you could get much nicer than this. This is perfect for this stage, and I've been using it for the last billion floors. The reason why I posted this particular video is, one, because people have problems with the OGs, and Gildong is especially awesome at dealing with that. But I also really wanted to get a video out showing you guys how amazing this Gildong is, and it just happened to be a really nice floor for him. So you'll see right there, he's got about 12,000 hit points. I had one extra taoist. I threw it into his number 3, so he has no cooldown reductions on any of his buttons, and particularly his stun. So he's rocking a 4-turn stun, which is super more than enough. We'll go ahead and show you the Mav as well, because he's amazing. I'm looking forward to this Fire Penguin secret dungeon we've got coming up this weekend. I'm going to fully skill my Mav finally. And then here's my Basalt. He is 1 skill up away from being fully skilled. Really enjoying him. You'll see my monsters are like super thrashed still from this last free rune removal. I moved way too many runes around, and I ended up with +6 and +9 runes everywhere, which is causing problems. My Veromos actually didn't change too much, so he's fully Devilmond and he's got all of his runes, but this is the guy I replaced with that Taoist. A Veromos fully Devilmond with pretty nice runes is getting completely overshadowed by that shit Taoist with no skill ups and super medium runes. I guess I mentioned my runes being destroyed. So here's my Spectra, fully skilled Spectra, medium-ish runes, but I took away the +15/2 and the +15/6 to do this, which once skilled up will be better. Look at this Beretta, shitload of +9 runes. Despair broke in with +9 runes. That's just how it worked out. So hopefully I can get these guys powered up. I need to get back into a dragon farming or fodder farming setup so I can get some mana to finally power up these runes. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Have a good one.